But the pain, it hurts me, man. It hurts me. And I've got a lot of tattoos. But, so, there's a big piece on my chest. I had the outlining done. It took me 7 years to get back to the shading.
Do you want to show us some of your tattoos?
Yeah, sure. It took me like 7 years to get back to the shading of this, and it's still not finished.
What's up, guys, and welcome to the Wide Awake podcast.
Are you ready?
I'm sure that you've noticed that we're in a bit of a different environment today. We're going to do a little bit of a tattoo video, and basically I'm just going to be asking strangers to tell me a little bit more about their tattoos. Today I am sitting with
Sean Stevens.
Sean Stevens.
Yep.
Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. Thank you, Joshy.
So this is a bit of a different format, but I think
you're out in the wild now.
We're out in the wild.
Nice.
Do you want to just introduce yourself a little bit?
Yeah, like I said, Sean Stevens. I'm from Skin Trade Tattoos. So you're in the place where the things actually are made at the moment. I know you're going to go interview other people. This is where the things happen, and strange job, but we love it, and it's a real passion of ours. Yeah.
Awesome. This is where the magic happens.
This is where the magic happens.
I literally have some of that magic on my skin.
Ground zero. Yeah.
So let's just jump straight into it. What is your favorite tattoo?
My favorite tattoo, on myself or
yourself? Yeah.
On myself, I have two. I have a Pink Floyd sleeve, and I've got some script around my neck that says Hearts and Minds, and they're both quite sentimental to me. And the Pink Floyd sleeve still got about another 100 hours to go, but when it's done, it'll probably be my favorite. Yeah.
Awesome. And what's your most meaningful tattoo?
Probably the Hearts and Minds. It's got a lot of meaning for me, and I think it sort of sums up the way I think about the world at the moment. It's such a polarized, crazy place and stuff. So Hearts and Minds is like winning hearts and minds. It's a slogan that they use as a sort of alternate form of warfare. When the Americans go into places like Vietnam and Afghanistan, and they can't win by dropping thousands of bombs, millions of bullets, and dropping fire and brimstone on people, then they try an alternative form of warfare where they try to win the hearts and minds of the population. And if they start that way, they probably won't have to drop all the bombs and stuff. So it's like we should rather start from a place of kindness instead of having a default setting, which is warring and engaging in the most terrible ways that we can. We should engage in the best ways that we can.
So
I think
this is one of the reasons why I wanted to do this, and I know it might seem like a bit of a simple, silly topic to talk about tattoos, because tattoos are generally, for the person that doesn't have them, it's a superficial thing. They see it, and it's like it's on your skin. It's by superficial, I don't mean shallow. I mean like it's like an accessory for the viewer. But to the person that has them, they often have a lot of meaning. And when someone saw your Hearts and Minds tattoo, they generally probably wouldn't think of that backstory,
Yeah, for sure. Also, like that tattoo is really for me. It's to remind me to have a default setting of kindness and betterness rather than defaulting to the darker side of human nature. But also, some guys get tattoos just for makeup. It's makeup for men and also makeup for ladies, of course, and anything in between. People get tattoos for all sorts of different reasons, and they're not always deep and meaningful or insightful. Mine, I prefer them to mean something to me. I take a long time before I decide on a tattoo, and when I do, it usually, if I see it in the mirror, I'm usually like, gotta think.
It takes you back to a moment or a memory.
Yeah, absolutely. It's kind of like a diary of your life. You got this tattoo done at that time. You were going through X and Y. Maybe it was a great time in your life. Maybe it was a tough time in your life. It just kind of pops a date onto what you were doing at that kind of time. And they don't have to be super, super insightful or anything.
Exactly. And what I used to say to people when they say, "Why would you get that tattooed?" I go, "If it doesn't have meaning." But the thing is, if you have a piece of art on your wall, it doesn't always have to have meaning.
No.
It can just
if it's just something beautiful, that's cool too.
You don't have to look too deep all the time.
Nope, you don't. No, and I think people sometimes try and put too much emphasis on things having meaning. Sometimes you can add a meaning, and afterwards you get a tattoo done because it meant nothing to you, but because it reminds you of something, that alone has its own meaning. But it needn't be for that. People put makeup on every day. Ladies put makeup on every day. Doesn't mean anything to them. It's just because they want to look a different way. And we have control over these things. Why not?
Exactly. And you were saying that it could be like a little bit of a diary of your life. One of the things was I was an addict for a long time. And I remember the one day I was sitting in my room and I had made a tattoo gun. And the tattoo gun was a drill motor, guitar strings, a pen to put the needle through, and then a ruler to hold it all together with some tape, and pen ink.
Yeah, and
so I was,
prison tattoos exist, man.
I was basically doing a prison tattoo in my bedroom at like 1 in the morning.
In the suburbs.
Yeah, I was out of my mind. And I remember I was at such a low point in my life that I took this tattoo gun and I put an arrow on my ankle facing down. And I was like, when my life turns around and things are good, I'll put one going up.
Nice. That's very cool, actually.
Yeah, and then the tattoo got super infected and I had to go to hospital. After like 2 weeks, I went into the hospital.
Yeah, you were definitely going down, man.
It was proper gangrene. Like all the flesh rotted out of my leg. Anyway.
That's dismal.
Let's get back to you.
Yeah.
Do you have any embarrassing tattoos that you're like, oh, I wish I didn't get that?
No. I had the first 2 tattoos I ever got done were on my sort of upper bicep, and they weren't embarrassing. They were absolutely apt at the time. I loved them. The person who did them was a really, really great friend of mine, and I loved them, but I moved on from them. So I had them covered up, and that's all incorporated into my sleeve now. If you don't like something nowadays, you don't have to live with it. We do probably about 60% of our work as cover-ups, at least in our Joburg shop. We do a lot of cover-ups. People get tattoos, they sort of get tired of them, bored of them, whatever the case may be. We cover them up. We put something new, something fresh on, or we add to it. Of course, last resort, you can have them lasered off nowadays as well.
Yeah.
So they're not there permanently anyway. I mean, they're only there till the worms eat them off. And if we want the tattoo gone before the worms eat it off, there are ways to do that now. Or just change it up. Keep it fresh.
Yeah, I mean, the one on my forearm is a cover-up. That was done here. And it's my favorite tattoo. But I want to ask, what got you into this line of work? What interested you about it?
I've been drawing ever since I was a young git and stuff. And I never really thought it would go anywhere. I had a different normal sort of 9-to-5 job and stuff. And I was helping out a friend of mine who had run on some hard times. And she came and stayed in my flat at the time, and she was a tattoo artist. And I used to help her out with designs and things. And one day she sat me down and said, dude, you really should be doing this. And I thought about it for a few minutes, and then I went and resigned the next day. And I've never looked back.
Amazing.
I've absolutely, it's been one hell of an incredible journey. I've been tattooing now for about 23 or 24 years. And it's just been amazing. We get to meet the coolest people as well. I mean, people coming to us there. As soon as you stick a needle in a person, they will tell you every damn thing about themselves. They will tell you how they're cheating the tax man. They'll tell you how their wife is cheating on them with the garden guy, or they'll tell you all sorts of things. As soon as the needle hits their skin, it's like they just open up, and it's
like a therapy session.
It's like a therapy session, and that's my favorite aspect of the job. I mean, I love the art aspect, I love all that stuff, but just getting to really meet people on a different kind of level in such a short space of time is insane. I mean, the stories sometimes are just mind-numbing.
Do you want to tell me a few of the highlights, like or the most entertaining stories you've heard, or stories that you've picked up over time?
You know, there's so many, but there's one that really stands out, and it's not a particularly good one. but I'll tell you anyway, because I know you, your podcast, you deal with the darker side of life quite a lot. So this guy in Joburg came in, and I was tattooing him, and he told me this hectic story. His kid had committed suicide a short while before then. And that's terrible, of course. I mean, it's as tragic as, and I do a lot of memorial tattoos for people whose kids have ended their lives and things. And it's always such a big responsibility to me to sort of do something that, and engage with this person who's going through this.
To leave them with something
thing.
that represents.
It represents that kid's life, and it's a part of their process moving on and all that. So I really enjoy it. I mean, it's not in a weird, sick kind of way, but it's just awesome that these people entrust you with this responsibility. But anyway, this guy told me a little more about the story. So after his kid had killed himself, he got a message one day on WhatsApp from another kid at the school. And the kid asked, hey, is whatever his name was, is it true that he's dead? So the father thought, maybe there's one of the friends, whatever, and stuff. And he'll drop a message and say, yeah, sorry, unfortunately, this has happened, and great tragedy, and we miss him loads and all this kind of stuff. And the reply he got back, and this kid said, I'm glad your kid died. I'm the one who pushed him to commit suicide. And I was like, all my hairs are standing up now. It was like, my head is going red. What do you say to that? Like, how is it possible that a person encounters another human? I mean, you deal with dark people. You deal with dark people all the time on your podcast. But that was just like, from a young child, I was absolutely blown away. Absolutely blown away. And then, you've got to go back and finish this tattoo and engage with this guy, but like, your head is just elsewhere. You're like, what the hell is going on with the human race? Like, how did we get to this place? So yeah, they're not all dark like that, of course, but that one, like,
just stood out.
Just, like, it consumes me sometimes because I don't understand it at all. Like, I love humanity. I love people, and we get to see, the good sides and the bad sides as you do.
The best and worst of us.
The best and worst. But that was just like, that rocked me.
Crazy, eh?
Didn't think that kind of thing was possible.
I think as a tattoo artist, it's like the reason people get so vulnerable is because it's like, it's an exciting thing to get a tattoo. And it's like, for a lot of people, it's their first time. Even if it's not their first time getting a tattoo, they're like, I'm getting something right now that is going to be on my body for the rest of my life. So they're like thinking about life and love and forever and, time, whatever it is.
And there's a cocktail of endorphins and chemicals that are running through your body as well.
You just start pouring out, yeah.
We're injuring people, and they're allowing us to do it, paying us to do it, and sitting still, hopefully, while we're doing it. It's mental. It's absolutely crazy. I can't believe, when I got my first tattoo, I was like, yo, this is sore. Like, I'm a bit of a wuss. I'm petrified of needles normally. The only reason I can get a tattoo done is because the needle is inside the machine and you can't actually see the needle. Like with a piercing, or if I go to the doctor and the doctor pulls out a needle, I'm like, I'm going to die now. I hate it. Like,
I have the exact same thing.
I go like ballistic. But because the needle's all hid away, I can sit for it. But the pain, it hurts me, man. It hurts me. And I've got a lot of tattoos, but so, there's a big piece on my chest. I had the outlining done. It took me 7 years to get back to the shading.
Do you want to show some of your tattoos?
Yeah, sure.
Do you want to hold the mic?
No, it's cool. It took me like 7 years to get back to the shading of this, and it's still not finished. Like, because it hurts me, and I just can't understand why people keep coming back to us. Like, it's mad.
What's the scars on your
Yeah,
shoulder?
these are the Borneo stars.
No, the scars.
The scars. Yeah. So I race superbikes. There's a picture of me up there. I race superbikes and things. And one day I was on the racetrack doing good work, and then I ran out of talent and smashed into a wall and nearly died.
Jeez.
Was supposed to die. I managed to do just enough to change things around. And as it was, my arm got very badly smashed up. I thought my tattoo career was over right there and then. And yeah, my arm was like a wet noodle, just
Shame, man.
wiggly. And then
And how did you get back? I mean, what was the recovery process like?
it was awful. It was terrible. They operated on me. They put a long pole, like an umbrella pole, down the inside of my bone on my humerus, and I thought I was going to be racing again in 2 weeks' time, but it took more than 9 months just for the humerus to knit again. More than 9 months. And then I've been doing a lot of calisthenics and stuff. I started doing calisthenics even when the bone was still broken, and I started to try and recover my muscle because it was gonna atrophy really badly by the time it was sorted. So I started as early as I could, and in the hope of getting back to racing as fast as I could.
I seem to remember, I think it's that there's a photo of it on the wall here, that you do marathons as well.
Yeah.
So was that marathon done after the accident?
Yes. So I did the Comrades after. Yeah, it was the Comrades. I think that year was an 89-kilometer run, and I couldn't go racing, so I had to find something else to do. I decided to go and do something else that would challenge me, and the Comrades is. Yeah, it's uber challenging.
Yeah,
and
I mean, 90 kilometers.
That nearly killed me. The year after that, I did it in a clown suit as well, a full clown suit for a charity that I run. And sure,
You must have sweat a lot.
I nearly went to Jesus. I promise you, I nearly died. That year,
Jesus, take the wheel.
yeah, that year, I went across the line at the same time as another guy who's exactly my age, and he actually didn't make it.
He passed away.
It's that grueling a race. Like, it's not uncommon for people not to make it. They have multiple
That's
organ
crazy,
failures and
eh?
stuff. And I was this close
You
to
just push
having
yourself
it.
to the limit.
Yeah, and beyond. It's ludicrous.
Insane, eh?
It's ludicrous. I'll try not to do that again. I'm hoping to get back to racing as soon as this pandemic's over, so I don't have to do stupid stuff like that anymore.
Back to racing, yeah. So, I mean, tell me a little bit about the tattoos on your chest. What are the stars?
Yeah, so the stars, these are Borneo stars, warriors who had been through, many trials and tribulations, fought many battles and things in the old Borneo island. They would get these stars. They would get the two over here, and then the really, really accomplished warriors would get another rosette on their throat as well. But I'm not into throat tattoos. I already said these things are too painful. Like a throat tattoo would probably put me in a box.
Be very painful, yeah.
But yeah, I've been through a lot of tribulations, especially in my young life and stuff. And these are my little mementos of to show that
you've been through some stuff.
I went through some stuff and I made it. I came out the other side, and yeah, I'm good for the experience. Yeah.
Do you want to talk about any of that, or you're not really?
No, I don't mind. Yeah, I mean, not a lot to tell really. Just growing up was a little rocky, I guess, to say the least. Yeah, I went to children's home, all that kind of stuff, and boarding school from a very young age, and that faced many obstacles along the way, and ultimately overcame them. But I think the important thing is that you learn from these experiences when you're young, and they should hopefully put you in good stead to deal with the other obstacles which you'll have as an adult. As a kid, you think everything is really difficult on you. You don't really see what adults are going through. My mother was having just as rough a time, if not a rougher time. She has a kid to deal with as well, and she had a big alcoholism problem at the time and things. That's why the children's home and stuff. But all those experiences sort of made me a lot stronger and ready to take on the myriad of obstacles that you have as an adult, and it served me really, really well in the end. So I didn't come out a victim. I came out a warrior, and that's been hugely beneficial.
It's amazing. When you're a kid, and I was thinking about this yesterday, funnily enough, you don't realize how complex life really is.
If we only had a clue. What I would give now to like go back to school and play with Play-Doh all day, and like that was like the only thing you had to do. Yeah, get the Lego pieces in the right color, right order, and then that was it. And we thought we had such big problems there.
When you're young, all you want to do is be old, and when you're old, all you want to do is be young.
You'll bring it back. Bring it back.
I'd rather be really young, like 6 or 7, because the teen stuff is the worst.
Yeah, I don't know. They were good fun though.
Yeah, it was good fun.
Yeah,
but anyway, I think what we were saying earlier about like tattoos are something that people see, but they don't. It's just a visual thing for them if it's on someone else.
Yeah.
Like I would never have thought that those 2 stars represented what they did, but yet there's such a meaning behind it that means so much to you, And it's amazing how we started this conversation off with, "What's your silliest tattoo?" And look at the conversation we've had. It's amazing what these things on our body that we put there represent.
Whether it's repairing your soul or actually doing something else for you, they're cool. I mean, if they're just there for you to look cool, walk out in public, and have a bit more confidence, out there, then
that's all they need.
It's doing its job, man.
Exactly.
It's doing its job.
But anyway, man, thank you so much for chatting to me.
100%, Joshy. Shot, man.
It's been awesome.